Khalid bin Walid is widely regarded as one of history's greatest military commanders. Figures like Napoleon, Alexander the Great, and Julius Caesar all fought numerous campaigns and, at times, suffered defeats. Yet, Khalid bin Walid is often credited as one of the few undefeated commanders in history, never losing a single battle throughout his entire military career. This view isn't just limited to Muslims. Many military historians and observers worldwide also recognize his genius. In fact, Khalid's tactics and strategic planning are still studied at leading institutions like Oxford and Harvard. But what made his campaign so remarkable that, even after 14 centuries, his name still echoes through history? Let's find out. Acting on the orders of Khalifa Abu Bakr, Khalid bin Walid launched a campaign against the mighty Sassanid Persian Empire. With just 18,000 Muslim soldiers, he faced a formidable Persian force of 40,000. In a stunning display of tactical brilliance, he completely overwhelmed them. This triumph marked a pivotal moment. For the first time, Muslim forces ventured out of Arabia, beginning their rise as a global power and taking control of the area we now know as Kuwait. When the Shah of Iran heard that one of his major armies had been so easily routed, he was furious. He immediately dispatched another force, 40,000 strong, to crush Khalid. But Khalid was always a step ahead. He had already placed scouts across the entire region, creating an early warning system for any potential threat. This scouts spread far and wide, quickly reported that a large Persian army was rapidly advancing on the Muslim position. Without hesitation, Khalid marched his army from Kuwait towards Ubala, in modern Dai. On one side stood 17,000 Muslim soldiers. Opposite them a Persian force of 40,000, whose commander arrogantly challenged Khalid to single combat. But before Khalid could even reply, an ordinary Muslim soldier stepped forward, accepted the challenge, and swiftly killed the Persian commander. Once again, the enemy's leader was defeated before the main battle even began. The two armies then clashed in a fierce and brutal engagement. The Persians, with their massive numerical advantage, began to inflict heavy casualties, and many Muslims became martyrs. For the first time in the campaign, Khalid ordered a tactical withdrawal. To the Persians, it looked like a full-blown retreat. Elated at the thought of an easy victory, they broke their disciplined formation and pursued the Muslims recklessly. They chased so carelessly that their army split into several smaller groups, with large gaps opening between them. But the Muslims weren't just running. They were deliberately spreading out, drawing the pursuing Persians even further apart. Khalid had been waiting for this exact moment. He led his cavalry through the two main gaps in the Persian lines, encircled their center, and completely crushed it. One by one, the remaining Persian detachments were isolated and destroyed. The few Persians who tried to flee were slowed down by their heavy armor, and the swift Muslim cavalry quickly overtook and eliminated them. This battle took place in Iraq, meaning that after securing Kuwait, the Muslims had now pushed into a second major Persian province. Advancing further was proving difficult. Iraq was a long way from the capital, Medina, and communication with Central Command was slow. So, before moving on, Khalid established his newly conquered region as the new Muslim headquarters. The Persians and the local inhabitants were terrified. They expected the Muslims to plunder their homes and cities, just as previous empires had always done. But Khalid, following the strict instructions of Caliph Abu Bakr, returned all property to its rightful owners and did not seize anything by force. He established courts, appointed judges, and for the first time, a system of true justice began to spread across the area. Markets reopened, and commerce resumed. Khalid ibn al-Walid understood that wars are not won by the sword alone, but also through sound economic policy. He bolstered the Muslim treasury by collecting the jizya, a tax on non-Muslims. This was not a new tax. The Persians had imposed a similar, much harsher levy for centuries. Khalid, however, significantly reduced the amount. Seeing this fairness and justice, the local people began to realize that the Muslims were far better rulers than the oppressive Persian state had ever been. Many willingly embraced Islam and even joined the Muslim forces, which began to grow rapidly. The revenue from jizya and zakat strengthened the new Muslim administration. Today, some people think of Khalid as just a warrior, but the truth is, he brought justice, and economic prosperity wherever he went. With the Muslims now in control of Kuwait and southern Iraq, the Persian Empire had suffered another major blow. When news of yet another crushing defeat reached the Shah, he decided to assemble two new, massive armies. His order was simple: unite and annihilate the Muslims once and for all. He gathered forces from every corner of his empire, except for the western frontier bordering the Roman Empire. He was afraid that Rome might seize the opportunity to attack while Persia was weakened. Little did he know, Rome wouldn't attack, because soon after, the Muslims would also be advancing toward Roman territory. Many people in the newly conquered regions had embraced Islam and now served as loyal informants for the Muslim army. These new Muslims knew the Persian lands and customs far better than the Arabs did, enabling Khalid to receive intelligence with incredible speed. He soon learned that two vast Persian armies were marching towards him from different directions. He understood that if these two forces managed to join, defeating them would be nearly impossible. So, he began to plan his counter-move. The region these armies were coming from was green and mountainous. They were not accustomed to the harsh desert environment, which gave Khalid a unique advantage. He marched his troops at incredible speed across the desert, intercepting the first Persian army at a place called Walaja. The Persian commander was astonished to see the Muslims suddenly appear. He saw a small force, mostly composed of foot soldiers with very little cavalry, and this filled him with confidence. A massive Persian champion stepped forward, a man known as which in Persian means the man of 1,000 warriors. Khalid ibn al-Walid met him in single combat and killed him swiftly. After this, both sides prepared for the main battle. The Persians, however, waited. They didn't attack immediately. Their plan was to stall for time until their second army arrived. But the Muslim plan was the exact opposite: to defeat this army before the reinforcements could ever reach them. Despite being heavily outnumbered, Khalid ordered an immediate assault. A fierce and bloody fight ensued. After a prolonged struggle, the Persian commander rotated his front lines, bringing in fresh troops who inflicted heavy casualties on the exhausted Muslims. It was at this critical moment that Khalid ordered another tactical withdrawal. But this was no retreat. Only the Muslim center fell back, while the left and right wings held their ground, slowly and deliberately bending inwards to form a crescent shape around the advancing Persians. As the circle tightened and the entire Persian army was drawn into the trap, Khalid gave the signal. 4,000 Muslim cavalrymen, who had been hiding behind nearby hills, suddenly charged from the rear. The Persian scouts had completely underestimated the Muslim numbers. They had no idea this hidden cavalry even existed. The Persians found themselves completely surrounded on all sides. It is said that in the ensuing chaos, not a single Persian soldier escaped. This wasn't the first time Khalid had used such a brilliant maneuver. Years earlier, during the Battle of Uhud, he had employed a similar flanking tactic against the Muslims. Now, he had perfected it and turned it against the Persians. After this spectacular victory, the Muslims pushed even deeper into the Persian heartland. Soon after, Caliph Abu Bakr ordered simultaneous campaigns against both the Persian and the Roman empires. The lightning-fast expansion of the Muslims had alarmed both of the world's great superpowers, and for the first time in their 700th-year history of rivalry, the Roman and Persian empires decided to set aside their differences and form an alliance to face a common enemy. To see what happens next in this incredible story, make sure you comment for part 2. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing history.